I heard the story of a popular golf player who traveled to a kingdom to play golf with the king of that kingdom. And at the end of their tenure together, at the end of the time together, the king of that kingdom asked the golf player, before you travel to your country, what would you want me to do for you? Ask for a gift. And this golf player said, this was just a friendly game. I don't need a gift. But the king insisted. And so the golf player simply asked for a golf stick. When that king thought about the gift he was going to give, eventually he sent to this golf player his interpretation of the request. And you see, a king's interpretation of your request is not limited to the narrowness of your mind. No, a king's interpretation of your request is expanded to the expanse of his wealth. When the king sent his gift, he sent the title deeds for an entire golf course. The wealth, the pomp and the pageantry, the bigness of a king is his kingdom. And understand this, universal intelligence within you means that the kingdom of God and his wealth, the source of all things, is within you, even in your heart. Therefore, seek above all things the kingdom of God in your heart. Go within. For things to change, you have to change. For things to become better, you have to become better. We're talking about self-awareness. And I said the first thing I want you to understand is that within you is universal intelligence. Within you is a life-giving spirit, the self-renewing one, the ever-healthy one. That is God. In other words, you may have a limited body as a human being, but in you resides divinity. And when you practice on this journey with me to self-mastery, personal mastery, when you practice to tap within you, to tap into what you have within you, the things that made you feel small. In fact, right now as we speak, those things should already be shrinking in size. Who is that person? Who is that situation? What is that situation that is bigger than what you carry? Let's take a moment. I'd like to just do something with you. I want you to identify one problem that you have. And I want you to use your left hand like this. Cup your left hand and say, that problem, even if it is money, 500,000, 1 million, rent, that problem, or just an emotional disturbance or a health challenge, just say, that problem is here. Are you watching me? Say it, that problem is here, and God is here also. Therefore, this problem is divinely outmatched. Yes. The problem is here, and God is here also. Therefore, this problem is divinely outmatched. Whatever it is, because of who you are, be aware of this, that you carry in you the Alpha, the first, the present, the continuous, the all-powerful one. Because you carry this within you, you are a force to reckon with. Every problem you face right now is divinely outmatched just by the sheer nature of what you've been given, not by your choice, but from creation, from birth. Within you exists universal intelligence, the hidden technology that governs the world. You need to know this. Which means when you reach out this way to heaven saying, I need a miracle, you're reaching out in the wrong direction. God is in his kingdom and his kingdom is within you. Go back inwards. That problem is divinely outmatched. The miracle comes from within. It comes from within. And if you embrace this truth, if you believe like I believe, then it is impossible for you to fail. Impossible. Because every problem, every challenge you have right now, you have just become aware of the fact that that challenge is divinely outmatched. Because within you is God and his kingdom. So wealth comes from you. Peace comes from you. Favor comes from you. Why? From the kingdom of God within you, from universal intelligence within you. Know thyself. Self-awareness. I told you that we've been told we have 5 senses, right? Sense of smell, sense of touch, sense of taste. The ability to hear, right? And the ability to feel. And then I said, even our dogs and our cats have 5 senses. There has to be a difference. Now you know what you carry. And because of what you carry, you have what we call higher faculties. And I want to talk to you about 2 of these faculties. The first one is thought. The highest function a human being can perform is thought. Ahead of everything you have ever done was a thought. Ahead of every failure you have ever embraced was a thought. Ahead of every pain, every trouble, every conflict was a thought. The highest function a human being can perform is thought. And you see, it's important that you understand what thoughts are. And while I cannot fully expand this knowledge here, I'll tell you in summary. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts, your thoughts is energy. And anything energy enters into, it expands. And that is why when you feel angry and you think about the thing that makes you angry, anger expands until you do something you regret. When you feel sad and you begin to play blue music and say, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I wish this didn't happen to me. The more you direct thought into it, the deeper it becomes until you fall into depression. When you think about money and you begin to expand it in your thoughts, then suddenly deep is calling to deep. Business ideas, simple ideas are coming to you. You implement them and you get the reward in naira and kobo, in dollars or in pounds. Thoughts are energy. And anything energy enters into, it expands. And on this road to personal mastery, you have to be aware of the kind of thoughts and the quality of thoughts you're thinking. You see, your brain is a storage of past events. Your brain is a store of past events. And so mental activity basically is your brain regurgitating past events. But your assignment is to stop it, alter it, because you see, if all your energy is directed to past events, you continue to reproduce, stay stuck in those situations. You continue to reproduce them over and over. So on this journey to self-mastery, one of the things we're going to ask you in self-awareness is guard your heart with all diligence. Watch what you're thinking. The big assignment today before we round up is this. Take some time to see the kind of thoughts you think that make you feel strong and empowered, and the kind of thoughts you think that make you feel broken and small. And decide which one you want to engage, because every thought is a seed. And when you hold the seed of thought on repeat, it will move from your conscious rational mind, it will move from your conscious rational mind to your deeper subconscious mind, your God mind. And anything, notice, any thought seed that enters your deeper subconscious mind will impregnate your mind and show up on the screen of space. In other words, it will become your reality. That is why a lot of you have seen come alive the things you believed, the things you focused on, whether good or evil. The great man in the Bible, Job, said, "The thing I feared the most has come upon me." But do you realize that all the time Job in the Bible was praying and raising altars for his family, his children? Guess what? Those altars were informed and influenced by fear. Any prayer you are praying that is fed, that has fear at its core, is a prayer that is cursing you. Any prayer you are praying that has fear as its source is a prayer that is cursing you. You see, because fear has two components from the higher faculties. Two: a picture in the mind and a feeling. And I'll round up with this thought. As you monitor your thoughts on this journey of self-awareness, know this, that anytime a thought meets a matching emotion, manifestation happens. Miracles, what we call miracles. Anytime a thought meets a matching emotion, manifestation happens. So if you are engaging in a thought that you are wealthy, and suddenly every time you think about that thought of wealth, a feeling of gratitude and happiness matches it, watch out. Any moment now it will happen. On the contrary, if you're thinking a fearful thought that somebody in your life is going to come into harm's way, and you match that thinking or that thought with fear, which is an emotion, you have completed the loop. And that is why you must guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Watch the things you are thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Josh the Optimizer, and the truth is you're always on my mind. And on this journey of personal mastery, our first step is to become aware of who we are. And I told you the first thing you need to know is that within you is universal intelligence. The unseen technology that governs this world is in you. And every problem you're facing right now, as you hear the sound of my voice, is divinely outmatched. You're going to be all right. You have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bless your beautiful heart. Bye for now.